Welcome to the Rest in Peace podcast where we talk about all the creative things. I'm Angie and this is my lovely co-host Bailey.
Hello,
How's it
hello.
going? How's it going, Bailey?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. We're back. This is episode 2, season 2. Let's call it season 2. Season 2, episode 2.
Done.
We just decided
Love
right
it.
in this moment, seasons. Um yeah, I'm good. I'm feeling good. It's going to be a good year. I said it before, I'm saying it again. I'm going to say it all the time until I forget because that's likely.
I mean, we're still very early. So I
Yeah.
like that. I like that optimism very early
Listen,
into
if I can't get
January.
out of January without saying that, then we're got a problem. But yeah, things are good.
Good.
Yeah. So today I think we're going to talk about creativity, obviously, but like in the sense of people who don't think they're creative. So we touched on this a little bit at the end of the last podcast, and we're just going to run with it today and talk about
Yes.
that. So I'll kick
Okay.
off with my thoughts about people who say they're not creative. And my thoughts
Cool.
are that's bullshit.
Done. All right.
Wow.
We can
Okay.
sign off. All right.
Thanks
Thank
for
you
being here.
so much.
A minute, like that's really good. No, I will expand. So I used to be a creativity coach in one of my previous lifetimes. I mean, this lifetime, but you know what I'm saying.
Hmm.
And I had a lot of times people were like, I'm not creative. I don't think I'm creative, blah, blah, blah. But I don't buy into that. Okay. And this is why, because I feel like we are all creative as humans. That the problem is, or I guess it's not really a problem, but the reason why people I think don't think they're creative is because they haven't found either what they like to do creatively or they don't realize what they're doing is creative.
Yes. Give me an
And
example.
okay, so I'll give you an example. So the obvious things about creativity are the ones that you can tangibly see. Writers, painters, musicians, those are obviously people will all agree those are creative pursuits. But things like cooking, gardening, um, those are also creative aspects that people don't necessarily think about as being creative, and especially people
Mm.
who are cooking or baking, who, yes, you have to follow a recipe. There's a lot of people who don't. They kind of like add their own little personal touches. That's an aspect of being creative. Gardening, deciding what you want to plant, deciding where you want to plant it, what things
Yes.
go together, how to harvest. That's even if it's not food, even if it's flowers, like what goes well together. So there's a lot of aspects of our life that are creative. It's just that when I think people just think about creative as the things that you can usually make money off of, that's what people think of when it comes to creativity.
Ooh, yeah, I feel that deep in my soul. I feel like also with
Mhm.
creativity, I feel like people usually view it as something they need to do for work as a soft
Yeah,
skill,
yeah,
and it really is existing outside and inside work, at the same time.
yeah.
Um, so what would you say to someone who's not doesn't think they're creative and doesn't know where to start?
So instead of saying that they're full of shit, oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, I mean,
I'm big on the direct report approach.
yes.
Uh, but no. So I like when I was coaching people, I would just explore what their interests are. Like again, makeup. Okay, so you can see that if you're watching this on YouTube,
Mm.
Bailey and I have beautiful red lips because that's our thing. People who like to do makeup or like to cut hair, like those are creative pursuits. So I would just
It's
talk
true.
to someone and be like, what are you interested in? What are the things that you like to do? And usually when they start talking, you'll find a nugget that you can just like kind of poke at and be like, okay, but that's sort of creative. And once you kind of identify it for them that that's actually a creative pursuit, it expands and it kind of goes from there. Because I do think a lot of people don't realize that they're creative. And so they don't think they're creative. So they don't try creative pursuits because they're not creative. So once you get
Absolutely.
them thinking outside the box, then I think it opens up a whole new world.
Well, yeah, I mean, I think a lot of people out there think that if they're not, like you're saying, like a writer, painter,
Hmm.
musician, singer, that kind of thing, that they're not really doing something in the arts. But the fact of the matter is, there's a lot of things that could be considered art. So
Yeah. Yeah.
um, I think the other thing that comes to mind is that creativity is so important for us.
Hmm.
And it's not just because we're, a creative living podcast, but also because
Yeah.
we're human. I think
Yes.
it's so important to be creative in some aspect of your life.
Yeah.
What do you think is the best way to capitalize on that? Like, and why do you think it's important?
I think it's important. Now I feel like I'm being interviewed. Bailey, let me tell you why I think this is important. Uh, Being creative just makes you use a different part of your brain. Like you
Mm,
can solve problems in a different way. You can approach things a different way because you're tapping into a different way of thinking. It's it's literally getting creative. Like you need to do something. I don't know how to do it, and then you start thinking about it. That in itself is a creative aspect. You know what I mean? Like so there's just so I think there's so many ways to tap into it, but you just have to find I think the first step is admitting that you're creative and then going from there. And then
yeah.
giving yourself the permission to try different things because that's a
Mm,
big problem. Like I know we talked about this in the last podcast about how like you have a background in writing and I don't, and that for a long time stopped me from even trying to write because I was like, well, I am not a writer because I didn't take any official courses for writing, but once I got over that, it opened up a lot for me because for writing, we all write every single day. It's not necessarily fiction writing, but we already all, for the most part, have those skills there. So, but again, like painting or playing an instrument or singing or whatever, like that, it's all accessible to everybody in some form. It's just getting over our thoughts that we're not or we can't do it, which is a
well, I think
whole other thing, right? So,
right. I think it's a hang up, like that
mhm,
if you're not making money or doing something, pursuing something creative full time,
yeah,
um, as your main income, I think that's where people kind of get confused that they're not doing something creative or they're not identifying as that type of
hmm
thing. But really in reality, if you write, you're a writer. And if you paint, you're a painter.
yeah,
Like that does not need any sort of level of education
yeah.
or any skill level expertise. As if you do it, you are that.
Yeah.
So I think that's an important message too, to say, it's okay to identify as what you
Mhm.
want to be and what you want to do, and it's okay to not.
Yeah.
Like if you paint on the side and or you crochet and
Mhm.
you don't want to identify as being a crocheter or a knitter or anything like that,
Mhm.
that's fine. That you can enjoy something without making it your whole personality. But
Yeah.
um that's another hang up I have. But
Yeah.
anyway.
I I do sometimes think that we get caught up in the labels a lot, and,
Mm,
it's there's nothing wrong with just existing and doing the thing that you enjoy doing and not
ooh
having to
girl.
be like, "Am I good at it? Am I good enough to call myself this?" or whatever, and that's a whole thing to unpack on like, on another level because that's to do with like self-doubt and imposter syndrome. That's not a theory, that's a syndrome. Uh,
Hey, I have
which
time.
we
We
all
can
have.
we can go
Yeah,
through all the theories, all the
all
syndromes.
the
It's
syndrome.
fine.
All we'll just open up the book of all of the things. Um, but yeah, I don't believe that people are not creative. I have never met anyone who's not creative. I think I just don't believe it. I don't buy into it. I think that we may not we're all different, levels of creative and ability,
Yes.
but we all have, creativity in us. So I just don't buy
Right.
into it when people say they're not creative. I'm just like, no, you just don't know what you're doing that's creative.
No, I wholeheartedly agree, and I think
Mhm.
the other thing is, like, if you break it down and if you're a dork about it, um, if you're creating something, you're creative, right? So,
Yeah,
like, that's the base word of that.
yeah,
So, if you're crafting an email, if you're making dinner, if you're like, even you said, like, gardening,
hmm
like, if you're
yeah,
growing from, seeds and stuff like that, it doesn't need to literally be something that you can go off and sell,
yeah,
and a product, it can
yeah,
be just something that is for you.
yeah.
Um, so what do you think is like the most creative thing that you do on a daily basis?
Outside of writing, you mean?
Yeah.
I feel like that's one of the things I do a lot, but I mean, I haven't in a while, but I do crochet. I paint. I used to create art. I used to sell art in an art shop when I lived out in Vancouver. Um, those are just a few of the things I do. I listen to music. I don't play. Okay, listen, I play a really mean air drum. Okay, my husband's a drummer. He keeps trying to get me on the drums. And I'm like, listen, I'm comfortable with my air drumming. I'm getting my beats down. So I'm really good at that. One day, well, I've gone on the drums once and it had, some success in the fact that I was able to hit the drums. Maybe not the way I wanted to, but I'm really good at air drumming, and I consider that being creative because I'm making up my own beats and with my
Right.
own imaginary drum kit. I did used to play instruments when I was in school. I played the clarinet. I also played the tenor saxophone. So I do have a lot of creative aspects that are
Mm.
more traditional, but then again, I love making soup and I never follow a recipe. I just throw shit together and hope for the best. And it
I
always works
love
out.
that.
So I do that. Gardening, I loved gardening, obviously. So, I mean, I could go on. Like, there's painting my nails, putting lipstick on, like, all those things are creative aspects, deciding how to put an outfit together, like your color matching, like, those are all creative things that I think we just do every day. We don't really even realize it. So, yeah.
It's
What about you, Bailey? What's your creative life look like? Tell me.
um outside of writing, I crochet and I read. I think that's a creative
Yeah.
thing, to build worlds in your mind from
Yep.
other worlds kinda thing.
Yep.
Um, I
Obviously,
also
I read
cross
too.
stitch. Yes. We have to put a plug in for reading.
Yes.
I cross stitch. I'm not a big baker or cooker, but, I do love to put outfits together and
Mm.
do makeup and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'd say that's very creative, and, I always like to try my hands at things.
Yeah.
I would love to, like, try new things, like making candles or, like,
Mhm.
um, anything with my hands, I feel like is a great
Mhm.
escape from the daily from the
Yeah.
daily life. Um, so yeah, I think it's really awesome that everyone has, their own thing and
Yeah.
they don't have to label it.
Yeah. And like literally, like you were talking about, like picking out outfits and stuff, but also things like decorating your house is creative,
Yes.
you know?
Yes.
And that's something that wherever you live, you're decorating. Whether or not you realize you're decorating it, you put anything on the wall, that's decorating. You bought a couch and you put a pillow on it. There you go, you've decorated. So all that stuff is very creative. Um, and we all do it all the time. I just think
Mm.
we just don't realize that what we're doing is creative because it's not like in the box of I am a creative, which is stupid because I don't like
Right.
boxes anyways.
Exactly, exactly. So let's
Mhm.
go back to being, like to this mindset of non-creative. Um, excuse me, I feel like I have to burp or something.
Let it fly.
um,
Be a
and
creative
creative burp.
burper. Yeah.
um, so what's the downside of being non-creative? Like what happens when you're not creative?
I mean, I think for a lot of people, it's a mental health issue. I think without
Hmm.
people realizing it is, I mean, okay, so obviously people who identify as creators have often said like, if I'm not doing the thing that I'm creative in, I don't feel like myself. So that's more obvious. But I feel like people that aren't identifying as creative, when they are feeling like things are not going well, it is probably because they're not embracing that. Like it's a being creative is a freedom that you can't really quantify because it gives you the ability to do whatever it is you want. So I feel like again, I feel like we all naturally like gravitate to it without even realizing it. It's just the level and the depth of what it is we're being doing creatively, if that makes sense.
Yeah, I do. I love it. I love the idea that there's a freedom to it and
Hmm.
that you don't necessarily have to um even box yourself in that way. Like
Yeah.
you can totally be creative in any way like,
Mhm.
I know, like, people that scrapbook and stuff like that, they're, like,
Yeah.
creating something from, something that's
Yeah.
already there, sometimes and
Yeah.
just putting the pieces together.
Yeah.
So, I think that's on the basis definition, that's it. You're just
Yeah.
putting together pieces in a new way.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So
yeah.
I feel like if you come across anybody who says they're not creative, like I guarantee you in like 5 seconds, if you know this person even a little bit, you can find something that they are doing that is creative. And you just have to kind of like bring that up. That's kind of what I try to do. It's like my personal mission is like when someone says I'm not creative, I just talk with them for like a few minutes and then I can like be like, well, actually, did you know that's actually creative? And then it just gets them thinking that, okay, well, maybe if I'm doing that already, maybe it's not like, it's like when people say, I don't have a green thumb, I can't grow plants, you know? But that's also not true. Because I feel like it may be that you don't enjoy doing it, but I don't think there's something inherently in you that kills plants. It just means that you're not informed on how it is that you're killing the plants so you can keep the plant alive. It's not like there's something
Okay.
about you that's like every time I touch a plant, it withers. I mean, if you have that ability, please contact me because I would love to make a story about you. Because that sounds supernatural, like you wouldn't believe, and that would be fantastic. But for
Yeah.
for most people, like that's not what it is. If you dig down to why people say they don't have aren't good with plants, it's like, well, I water it every day. Okay, well that's bad. Don't water them every day. Or oh,
Yeah.
I water them once a year. Okay, that's also bad. So it's like it's drilling down to what it is that the mindset that they have and kind of unpicking that.
That makes total sense to me because just because you don't have an affinity for something, doesn't mean that you can't do it.
Yeah.
So, just because you haven't painted before or because you think you're bad at
Yeah.
singing or making music or doing any of those things or
Yeah.
writing, you can do them. It's just that it's your interest level. Like, that's a
Yeah.
very, very good point. It's your
Yeah.
interest level and your knowledge level. Like, do you know what you're doing
Yep.
on a base level? And, going from there and
Yep.
being willing to learn, I think is also a huge
Yeah.
thing, which
Practice.
is practice, absolutely, and willing to make mistakes and not
Mhm.
make it perfect every time. I think
Yeah.
we could talk about that for a very, very long time.
Yeah.
The perfectionism in all of us and how that goes hand in hand with creativity,
Yeah.
honestly.
Yeah. It
Um,
does.
but that's why I kind of interviewed you for a minute because like if like since you're like you're pulling that out of people as a creativity
Mhm.
coach like in the past, like I
Mhm.
feel like you have a authority to like speak on that. And our mission here in the podcast is to remind everyone that they are their own, force and their own
Mhm.
um they can be their own thing,
Mhm.
in any individuality way, so
Yep.
creativity is just one of those things, that
Yeah.
you can be your own person to do,
Yeah.
if that made any
It
sense.
it did. And honestly, like it's such a broad topic that we could literally talk about a million different things. Like for us, we are primarily, I would say, writers, primarily. That's like our
Yeah.
main creative outlet, but
Yes.
it's not the only one. And like I know you love music, you're really into music, you listen to music all the time. I also love music. I'm not as versed in it as you are, but I am married to a musician. So music is part of my life as well. And like I said, I play a mean air drum. So, I mean, that success is going to happen anytime. Like, get ready. Actually, I have a really good idea for us. This is a tangent, but I really would love to start. This is with Brandon and I. So, my husband, Brandon, is a drummer, and he also taught drums for many years. I would love to start a YouTube channel where he drums and I air drum, and we just sit there and play all these songs, and it's just me and him. He's drumming and I'm just air drumming. I feel like it would be a success.
Honestly, you should edit out his vision, like his image, and just have you like making the sounds kind of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah. Let me
That would
tell you,
be amazing.
spoilers, there's a lot of back cymbals in my drumming. I don't know if you've ever seen anyone that has cymbals behind them that hits the. That revolutionized my life, okay? Because I saw this video of the drummer for Michael Jackson back in the day, and he has such a full kit that he has cymbals behind him and he hits them but also stops them. And that's just like life goals. So when I air drum, there's a lot. I said to Brandon, this is why I can't work on his kit because he doesn't have back cymbals anymore. So
Well,
that's really the
come
only thing stopping me
come on. Like,
from
let's
transitioning.
let's make
So
that a reality.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I think that needs to happen.
But I mean, that
Um,
was a huge tangent and I can't remember where I was going for that. But yeah, you and I are writers primarily, storytellers. And but there's creativity in all aspects. And that's why it's the creative podcast because it can literally be about anything and everything. And that's what our subjects end up being, anything and everything.
Yeah, and I think a tangent is well needed here because like the last time that we, last season, we talked a
Yes.
lot about some random things,
Yes.
and now we are trying to be a little bit more focused, but we will still go on tangents and we
Yes.
will still talk about air drumming and other
Air drumming.
things.
Yeah.
I
Tattoos,
personally
piercings,
cannot
all those things.
exactly like I can't do anything musically, but then again, like I don't really have interest in
Yeah.
going out and doing that. I have an interest in learning more about the people that can do that.
Yeah.
So again, that's like a perfect example. But like, you will not see my album in the future. So,
So don't wait
but
for
you
it.
will. Yeah, don't hold your breath. Um, but yeah,
Yeah. And that's the thing is that we all have creative parts of us. We're, I think, inherently creative beings, which is a survival instinct in some. I mean, the first person who ever looked at an egg that came out of a chicken and was like, I think I could probably eat this, had to have been creative enough to just try it. You know what I mean? I get that they probably saw an animal eating it and was like, okay, they didn't die, so I could. But the thing is, they took that egg and they maybe cracked it open and ate it raw, and then someone decided to cook it. Like those are creative pursuits. They don't.
yes,
It's creativity is built into our evolution of survival. There you
yes,
go.
and it
Write that down.
builds. It, it builds on each other. Like
Yeah.
if you ever thought that you're doing something, um, there's no such thing as a novel thing, like,
Yeah.
there's no such thing as a new thing anymore. Like you just
No.
said, like, you probably saw an animal eating the egg, and that's why you ate the egg kind of thing. So
Yeah.
you're building off that experience. So if part of your creativity is the fact that you don't think that you can create something new and something you don't have something to say, like, creatively
Hmm.
new, I would say that that's bullshit as well,
Hmm.
because it builds off each other. We have a culture where, um, as humans, that we really just kind of like we're in conversation with each other all the time
Hmm.
about how art influences life and science and all of that stuff. So it really is just a conversation that you're having, and you
Hmm.
don't necessarily have to say something brand new.
Yeah.
I would also add to that.
Yeah. I agree because like everybody has something different to offer, and even if you're
Yes.
again, you can be a painter that paints the exact same thing and it will not be the exact same thing as somebody else. Like you will always have your own personal touch because you are uniquely you. And I think that gets lost in our society a lot because we're always trying to put people into groups and where we are, but we are all uniquely ourselves. And that's a good thing because we all bring different things to the table. And so even if you're quote unquote copying something, um, which I don't recommend for plagiarism issues, but it it's not going to be exact anyways. You know what I mean? Like that's the thing is that there's a time and a place to build your skill, um, to look at something that's been done and craft your own thing as a way of practice until you find your own footing. But we will always be everything we create will always be influenced by something else.
Absolutely.
Mhm.
And this is why I love Angie. Like we talked about why she loves me, but I love Angie cuz she like takes my tangled thoughts and makes them presentable. So yeah, you nailed it. You said exactly what I was thinking. Like
Yeah.
it really is like
See, there's a
important to be
form
your own
of
person. Yeah.
creativity right there. You
Yeah.
started it and I built upon it. And I just gonna take the credit
Exactly.
for that.
You totally can. I'm not mad.
Uh,
Um
no, you
no,
had
it's helpful to have
yeah.
someone that really understands where you're going and what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
But if, if this is something that you wanna do in the future and, like even
Yeah.
podcasting, no one gave us microphones from day one. So, like,
No.
we're trying it and we're hopefully succeeding. I don't know, but,
You know what? We're having fun. So at the end
we
of the day,
are.
that's really what it comes down to. If you're having fun, you don't really need to worry about whether or not someone thinks it's creative or good or bad or whatever. Like it's just doesn't matter.
That's it. That's the message.
Yeah.
That's the
You just
eulogy
gotta
for today.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
just gotta do it. Yeah, exactly. I forgot about eulogies. Oh my gosh. Like we're so
Yeah.
rusty out of our podcasting, but that's okay because we're gonna come back and we're gonna keep doing the thing.
And
And
make
we'd
it better, and yeah.
love to keep doing this. We're gonna keep doing it and we'll have we if anyone has any questions or ideas on things they'd like us to explore, just put it in the comments below.
Yes.
Or
We
I mean,
are
that's on YouTube. I don't know what the comment situation thing is on Spotify and Apple Music. But if you're on those two platforms and there is no way to leave a comment, pop over to YouTube, find us,
That's right.
and
We have red lipstick on,
we
and
have
we look great.
yeah,
So,
yeah,
come
we
find
do. I
us.
mean, really, Bailey's got pink hair. It's a whole show in this thing, you know. Listen to us on one platform, come view us on another. We're here for everybody.
Ooh, I love that.
There you
Oh
go.
my.
We
Alright,
appeal
we
to
have
the masses.
we do. We have 4 minutes left in our half an hour show.
Yes.
I just wanted to thank you all for listening, and if you are here from last
Mhm.
time or if you're new, thank you so much for showing up and being here with us. We are available on Spotify, YouTube, Apple Podcasts, and we are really happy that you're here. So, any parting words there, Angie?
Bailey, you did that so fantastically. I feel like I got really nothing to add,
Okay.
which is
All right.
unfortunate because we still have 3 minutes left. But you know what? We can just give those people their time back in those
No,
three
I don't
minutes.
like that. I'm taking
Oh,
your
okay, we're
time.
taking it back. Sorry.
Let's see some of this air drumming.
Oh no! Come on. I'm not performance ready at this point.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
This is still
Um,
an internal like home pursuit. I haven't started the channel yet. You know, we're I do
and
have
that
other
is
channels.
okay.
Maybe let's talk about where we are in other things. So Bailey's really not on social media, I don't think.
No, I'm not.
So she's
It's
here on these three platforms, which is
yeah, this is the
fantastic.
only way you can find me.
But if you want to leave a message for Bailey, you leave it in YouTube comments and
Yeah.
she'll see it. I am on YouTube here. I'm also on YouTube on my other channel, which is under my name, Angie Richmond. If I remember, we'll put that in the notes at the bottom. It's all about cemeteries and exploring cemeteries, which is kind of off on, you know, its own little island over there. It's a little unique, little niche, but or niche. I guess that's how you say it in America, right? Like niche. Is that how you guys say it?
I say niche.
Okay, I heard it's
Uh,
pronounced different ways. I pronounce it niche, but
oh. Yeah, well, I think speaking of cemeteries, my mother, worked at a cemetery, and
yeah,
she would say niche for, like, for the actual,
yeah,
like, thing you get buried in. So,
yeah.
I think maybe it's
I think that's an American
different.
way. But you are
Yeah,
so Canadian
who
at
knows?
heart that you just speak Canadian. Which actually,
That's
if you're
true.
new here, I'm Canadian, Bailey's American. We are in two different countries, and we are coming to you as one cohesive
Yes.
unit,
Yes, exactly.
bridging the borders, healing the world with our cross-border friendship.
There are no taxes on this import, so you
No,
can stream happily knowing
yeah,
that you don't have to pay any well, I
yeah.
guess you pay for Spotify, but whatever.
YouTube's
Um,
free. Come visit us
YouTube's
on
free.
YouTube.
Another reason to go
Yeah,
and look at our beautiful faces. Oh
yeah.
god.
She's new to
Alright,
the
that's
mic.
it.
But yes, you can find us
Alright.
here and you can find us there and leave us, any questions you may have. And maybe we'll talk about your questions in a future
Yeah.
podcast.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah, come talk to us.
yeah,
We love talking to each other, but we really wanna hear from you. So,
yeah. And tell us your creative pursuits below.
yes.
And if you don't have one, you tell me down below and I will
No,
message
that's
you
bullshit.
and I will find out what it is and I will tell you your creative pursuit. because I'm just direct like that.
All right. Well, I'm Bailey.
I'm Angie. It's
We'll
great
talk to
seeing
you
you
later.
all.
Bye.
Bye.